a legal luminary, Chief Afe Babalola, has raised fears that the coming presidential election will be won by the highest spender and not the best among the candidates. Chief Babalola at a media briefing in Ado-Ekiti expressed worry that the 2023 general election will be conducted under the 1999 Constitution against his advice, saying the poll will only reproduce those who have brought Nigeria to a sordid state. The legal icon believes the recent endorsement of Peter Obi of the Labour Party by former President Olusegun Obasanjo does not factor in the role money bags will play in the election. Take a listen to Chief Afe Babalola.
He is exercising his right to follow whoever he wanted to follow, but he was not thinking of the outcome, possible outcome of monetized election. Obasanjo has no money to give to Obi. It is not who can make a difference that will win this election. It is, I will repeat, it is not the person who had all that it takes, age, health, education, and patriotism, that will win the election. The winner of this election, and I can bet it, is going to be the person who has made money in this country.
Well, you heard Chief Afe Babalola. What do you think about Chief Babalola's bets? He said he bets you that the person who will win is not the best person, but the person who has the deepest pocket. Well, let's see whether or not one of my guests tonight has qualifies into Chief Afe Babalola's description. I'm being joined tonight by the presidential candidate of the Accord Party, Professor Chris Imumolen. He's in our Lagos studio. Thank you so much, Prof, for joining us tonight. Let's start off from what Chief Afe Babalola said. Do you agree with him that this election might be won by the deepest pocket?
No, thank you, Seun, for inviting me today. I don't agree quite. I would be very frank with that. I don't agree because looking at Nigerian election, you would see quite that it is usually not even the highest spender that wins the presidential election. Start from 1999 when Obasanjo became the president. He was from the prison. He was not even that rich, and he won the presidency. After him was Yar'Adua, who was a governor in Katsina. We had people in the race who had more money than President Yar'Adua, and he emerged as the president. Well, some presidents would doubt the process, but we are looking at the pocket. After that, we had President Buhari, who contested against the sitting president. He was not the person who has the highest pocket. So looking at that line, and again, because Nigeria also have gotten to a point where I think the political awareness among Nigerians has gotten to a point where Nigerians truly want to vote. And again, with the INEC, the Electoral Act that have been passed, which has given the youth of Nigeria that confidence that we will be going to the election to truly vote for the right candidate who deem fit will change the status quo of Nigeria. So with this, I don't quite agree with what very respected elder statesman I respect so much. But I think that opinion, I don't agree with that.
If Chief Afe Babalola bets on the person with the deepest pocket winning this election, what would you bet on?
I bet on the Nigerians would come out, because look at what is happening with the sensitization about the election. This particular election is going to transit beyond what we used to know. We can see that no candidate by itself can actually beat his chest to say it is very sure for me to win this election. None of us. It is going to be a stiff and tough election, and that is one of one of the hope we have. So what I'm betting on is that Nigeria will select a fresh idea. We select a man who is not in the political circle, someone like me, who is coming outside the political circle, who believe to be coming into the political scene to turn things around and bring the aggressive development Nigeria nation has been looking for. You know, I've always said this, and this is what I believe would happen in the forthcoming election. And for me, what we should be doing is making sure that Nigeria have this awareness, creating the awareness with other candidates. You know, like you said before I came in, there are other 18 candidates, and the information is high. We have high hopes. My bet is Nigeria will select and Nigeria will win at the end of the day.
Do you think that you are that choice?
I know I'm the choice, because this is it. Let's get it straight. I am the youngest. I am the only youth in the race. You know, I represent the youths in this race that constitutes a large chunk of the Nigerian election. I represent that new ideology that Nigeria have been crying for. You know, I always say this, that, look at it. I was born when the recent president of Nigeria on seat was the head of state. That was the year I was giving birth to. And we grew up hearing about, oh, President Buhari, and now I'm contesting as a president when he is a president. You know, the Nigerian youths are beginning to see that we truly need to hand over Nigeria economy and the running of our nation to a vibrant Nigeria who is knowledgeable, who has proven record of achievement privately. That is what I represent, and that is what we have been preaching to millions of Nigerians everywhere. And the hope, the belief with the new system we have, the electoral system, believe me, we are very hopeful that we will do so well and will win the next election.
Now, I mean, as a professor, I know you must pride yourself in assessing things empirically. So let's look at the issues here. To win an election, you've got to have the resource to be able to prosecute the election. One. Two, you need to have the structure to be able to prosecute. But whether in and out, inside structure means the political party structure, the campaign structure, then out means the followership that either your party or yourself has. Also, you also need to put into consideration your track record. I mean, nobody comes from out of the blues to win an election. And this is an unusual trait that we'll often see. First and foremost, let's begin by asking you, have you resumed your campaigns? Where have you campaigned? Have you gone outside to reach out to Nigerians? What are your plans in terms of campaign in the first place?
Okay, thank you. We are in this race to change the status quo. What you have just analyzed is what is the normal when it comes to Nigeria election. Yes, we have seen that we have a country where it is just so normal that it is only the few among the very few people around the political circle that determines who lead this nation. And that is why, as a nation, we are where we are. We are the deepest point of our darkness as a nation. So we must deliberately change that status quo, and that is what I stand for. We have seen this happen. You know, everything seems impossible until it happens. We believe in the positivity. We believe in the achievement of this dream. Coming to the structure, Accord is not just a small party. The party I am running on is a party that has been there for many years. It's a party that have built structure all across the 74 local governments in Nigeria. And if you check what I've done in my little capacity as a young Nigerian, you will discover that I've also built salient structure over the years. Might not be political, but I have groups of a lot of millions of people all across Nigeria based on my track record, based on the humanitarian work we've been doing for many years all across the state in Nigeria. I'm probably the only candidate who would have traveled almost all the states in Nigeria even before politics. I am a grassroots person. I have been to virtually all the states. For example, Ekiti. Ekiti has about how many local governments? I've been to Boyin, Aramoko, Ileje Meje. I can mention I've been there doing the grassroots work supporting Nigerians.
Professor Imumolen, have you tested your structure in an election? Either by your party, so I mentioned structure. So how many governors do you have? How many senators do you have? How many House of Reps do you have? These are the people who will do the groundwork. This structure that you say you have, what is the electoral value of this structure? What have you won before?
Let me say this. Like you said, I'm a professor, and we do analysis to know if we are in a race to win. We are in this to win. What I need is 17 million votes. 17 million people who will go to the ballot and vote for me. I can tell you we are doing our analysis and we have our data all across Nigeria. What we need, regardless of whatsoever system and methodology you use, at the end of the day, do you have people to vote for you on the ballot? We are going to adopt, or we are adopting a non-conventional system of election, of voting. We have started collecting our data privately. I am very analytical. I'm an ICT professor, and we are doing this. Many Nigerians might not know me, but I can tell you, I have 15 million Nigerians that know me, that are ready to go to the ballot and vote for me. And we are going to increase that number. What I said, look, if we are going to use the normal political system...
From your own calculations, Prof.
Yes. So if you are going to use...
So let me ask you, where have you gone to campaign?
I've been to virtually all the regions of Nigeria. Even before campaign, I am everywhere. I have scholarship centers all over the states in Nigeria. I have presence everywhere in Nigeria. In this election, I've been to Imo, I've been to Ibadan. In Lagos, I'm based in Lagos. I've been to Abuja. We've done town hall meetings all over Abuja with our people. Those we know have the voters card to vote for. We might not be pulling that crowd because we are not buying, we don't do what is conventional. The kind of system of our election is in the box system. We get those that have the voters card who believe in us. Many of those who have impacted in the past 15 years through our empowerment program. You need to check what I've done. I'm probably the only candidate.
So
I always say this.
Let me ask you, Prof, quickly. We just have 2 minutes left on the program before we go. And I have 2 short questions for you. You have regarded yourself as the only youth in the race on the ballot. Now, tell me, one of the major problems of Nigeria at the moment is the unemployment rate. 33.3% is the unemployment rate in Nigeria, except something has changed yesterday. Give us an idea of what you will do to, on the downward slope to reduce these and create more jobs, just in 30 seconds.
Number one.
How would you create more jobs?
Yes, number one. A nation that is largely uneducated would have youths who do not have the required tools to empower themselves. I'm a professor. I believe so much in education. Like I said, we are going to rejuvenate, we are going to change the landscape of Nigeria education. We are going to change the system of education in Nigeria. And we'll make sure that Nigerians are empowered in their mind first to become self-sustainable. 2, we would ensure that we create an enabling environment for private sector to strive. I believe so much, and I always say this, that government do not have a role in doing business. We must begin to rejig our policies. We must begin to give out social amenities and social funds to help the youth of Nigeria to have great access to demonstrating their potentialities. Education is key. Creating enabling environment for Nigerians to strive. And most importantly, we must tackle the issue of power.
All right, Prof.
A country that wants to industrialize himself.
My final question to you, and I'd like you to, I'll appeal to you that you help me take it very quickly. Now, there is this Japa syndrome. Colloquially, that's what is being referred to. How much of Nigerians are willing to leave the country at every given opportunity. What do you think about this syndrome? And if you are elected president tomorrow, what would you do to stop this trend?
We must create a better country. 1, look at what is happening in West Indians. West Indians are known as a country that exports human resources. They are one of the best managers. They are one of the best ICT experts. Believe me, when you empower Nigerians, Nigerians will not only leave its shores to look for a source of livelihood. Nigerians will begin to impact positively in the global economy. And that again would impact in Nigerian GDP. We must begin to invest in Nigerians. The biggest resources that we have as a nation is our people, is our youth. And again, we must begin to create jobs for our people. We must begin to have good and safe country for our people. Why is it that Nigerians want to live? The first option every Nigerian youth has in life today in Nigeria is to leave the country. Why? Because we have a country that is not safe, because we have a country that does not give equal opportunity to Nigerian youth, and a country where Nigerian youth cannot express their potentialities. We'll begin to have that checked, and we'll begin to make sure that we have a country where Nigerians will stay, work, live, and those who want to travel will be traveling to impact on the world, because they already have the skills to do the same.
Yeah, we're totally out of time. Do you have the money? Chief Afefa Babalola says the next president will win the election because of money. But watch this space, because Professor Chris Imumolen said he's the next president because he's confident that we get 17 million votes. That's what he needs to be president.
Yeah.
So let's look at and see what happens. Thank you so much indeed for coming tonight, everyone. Professor Chris Imumolen is the Accord Party presidential candidate. Thank you so much indeed for coming.